when they're about to hit you, they'll throw that chancla at you. They'll go like, that chancla will be going in the air like this, floating. You run to the right, it goes to the right. You go to the left, it goes to the left. You go in the closet to hide, you can stay there for a whole hour. When you come out, that chancla is still going to be there waiting for you. You know this. So for this little boy, it started out with the chancla. That's what his father started spanking him with. Besides, after he told him all those three things, he would hit him with the chancla. From there, it went to a belt. From a belt, it went to an extension cord to a water hose to a 2x4. These are the kinds of things, it's no joke. That's what this kid would get hit with every day. And it got to the point where, when he got this age, he wasn't able to play basketball anymore. Why? Because he couldn't wear shorts. He had to cover up the cuts on his legs or the bruises that he would get from his father. He didn't want to get his dad in trouble, so he would always cover himself up and quit playing basketball. And at this point in his life, he had a teacher that believed in him. This young lady up there said to him, you know what? You like to argue a lot in class. You should become a lawyer. You like to talk a lot. You should become a politician. So this boy at that moment said, you know what? One day, I'm going to study law and politics, and I'm going to go to Harvard University. That's what I want to do. I want to change people's lives. I want to help people. That's what I'll do. But in 3 seconds, his whole life changed. How many know that all it takes is 3 seconds to change your whole life? Anything can happen within 3 seconds for a poor decision. Well, I'm going to share what happened with this kid's 3 seconds. What happened was that his father came home high and drunk as usual. When he went to his bedroom, he slept on the top bunk, the little boy in the bottom. His mother came into the room, pulled out his little brother, but she never came back. When his father went up to his son, he punched him in the chest, woke him up, and as the boy began to wake up, he's looking at his father, he's like, oh no, here we go again. That's when his father said to him, who spray painted the next door neighbor's garage? The little boy looked at him, I don't know what you're talking about. Who spray painted the garage? I don't know, I was sleeping. That's when out of the back of his waistband, he pulls out a pistol. And he says, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to tell me who spray painted the garage. 1. He pressed the gun and put it on his forehead. Now, as the boy lay there on the bed, he says to himself, he says he doesn't love me, says he hates me, says it's my fault he had to get married. He's just trying to scare me. 2, now he starts to pull the trigger back. Now the little boy starts trembling and shaking because he knows that his father is high and drunk, and anything can happen at any given moment. Boom, the first shot goes off on the pillow next to his head. As they struggle over the gun, 2 more shots go off into the ceiling where, thank God, his grandmother came running down the stairs to find out what's going on. Comes down, sees her grandson and her son fighting over this pistol. Gets in between them, separates them, takes the gun away. Then his father says to his son, if you don't say anything to the police, I'll give you a chance to be my son now. The boy looked at his father and said to him, all my life I've done everything you asked me to do. I cut the grass, I clean the house. I get good grades, I'm on the honor roll. Nothing ever pleases you. Nothing. Now you want me to protect you? Forget about it, it ain't going to happen. When the police showed up, they took his father away in handcuffs. He walked outside, found his mother and little brother crying. Walks up to his mother, expecting to get a hug from her. Mother grabs him, throws him to the ground and says to him, por tu culpa, because of you, now your father's going to jail. The boy looking up from the ground to his mom says, Mom, I'm your son, soy tu hijo. You're going to pick him over me? And the mother says, I'm going to go bail him out of jail. When we get home, we're going to talk about this like a family. The little boy looks at his mom. Family? What family? We're no family. If you go get him, I'm leaving. That night, his mother left to go get his father. He left and went to the streets. At 13 years old, he was on his own now. His innocence had totally changed because what happened was, for the first week, he hid in the basement of his best friend's house. But he didn't want to live that way. He says, you know what? I'm going to get myself an apartment. I'll get a job. I'll show them. And sure enough, he found a free apartment. But how many know nothing is free in this world? When he went to this bar, the owner said, you know what? I got an apartment upstairs. You can stay there for free. You can come work for me. He was excited because he thought, I'm going to wash, I'm going to mop, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'll show them. That's when the kid was introduced to cocaine for the first time in his life. He was taught how to bag it up, cut it up, start selling to 20, 30, 40, 50-year-old men in the bar. He had to grow up quickly, real quick that summer. But by the end of that summer, when he tried to go back to school, within the first semester, he was expelled. Why? Not because his mom and dad made him do it, not because somebody else made him do it, because sometimes as kids, we want to blame other people for our choices or our bad mistakes. We even as adults want to blame other people for our mistakes. But he's the one that chose to take that gun to school. He got caught, was expelled, but he never went back to school. By the time he was 18, he was making over $65,000 a week. He didn't need school. At the age of 21, he joined the Mexican drug cartel, ended up